everybody. Welcome to Magickal Monday. Gosh, it's another week has gone spinning by, and if you were around this weekend, you know it was kind of like brisk for us. So we woke our Mary, and then we went on a wassail, and a rather decent time was had by all. So welcome, say hello to everybody who's here. And
I'm saying
we've got
hello.
a very special guest with us today.
Hello to Logan, Sean, Savannah, Nicole, Wendy, Jess, Gilda, Laura, Cass, Crystal. Yeah, they're all showing up. And Doris Jean.
Doris Jean and Susan and
go.
Savannah, if you haven't said that. And I can't remember.
Crystal.
Oh, that's Crystal.
Crystal.
What do I know?
You do your thing and you stay off my thing.
Excuse me.
But we begin. Hi, Kimberly. How was your Mari bite this morning?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. She got savaged by the Mary. And unintentionally, I
whacked in the head. Anyway.
It happens.
We are starting our series of special guests today. So we're very excited. What's going on here?
What's going on? Well, shall we just introduce our special guest? Our special guest today is the incredible, the one and only Rachel Patterson, all the way joining us from, I believe, somewhere in England, deepest, darkest England. Hello!
Somewhere. An undisclosed
location. Exactly. Exactly.
It's Hampshire, down in the south.
It's lovely, isn't it? Sure. I had family down there at one time. My grandmother lived in Fareham, which you may or may not know, and I've dipped my feet in the Solent many a time.
It's a spit from me.
Okay, it's a spit.
I'm in Portsmouth, so I am right. I am
Portsmouth.
I am right on the ocean.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, we know where Portsmouth is.
Yes, you do.
Isn't that where Gavin is?
Gavin is from Portsmouth. Yes, he is. Yeah.
He is.
Pompies.
He is indeed.
Oh goodness.
That's the word.
He's a Pompey.
A Pompey, as they say, which is kind of interesting and wonderful. So, gosh, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. You're our first guest, I believe, in a whole series of authors that we've got coming on from Phoenix Flames, which Angela very kindly has sort of organised and cajoled people and persuaded you to. and so we'd love to know more about you. Rumour has it you've got a new book coming out. Actually, it's no rumour at all. we should be plugging the hell out of it, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to give you centre stage. Tell everybody what you're doing. What's your new book all about?
Well, I never argue with Angela for a start. I am an English witch from Hampshire in England. I've been walking the pagan witchcraft pathway for scarily over 30 years now. I've wandered, as you do. I started with Wicca. I did my Wiccan degrees. I gained my High Priestess title, but I wandered off. I wandered into kitchen witchcraft and folk magic, hedge witchcraft. So it's been varied, probably like most of us. Your journey's never a straight line, is it? I've been very lucky in my journey. I am High Priestess of the Kitchen Witch Coven. I'm Elder of the Kitchen Witch Online School of Witchcraft. And I have been lucky enough to have had 30 books published. My latest one being the 30th. That I know. You just can't shut me up. So book number 30 is Hedge Witchcraft and the Art of Hedge Riding. And that one's published by the very lovely Phoenix Flames.
So, if I can get this
Hedge riding.
What
do we think?
Do tell, what is hedge riding exactly? I mean, how does one ride a hedge? Sounds a bit strange.
Carefully.
I bet. Especially if there's blackthorn involved.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the hedge. Think about what the hedge does in the field. It's a boundary. It's a boundary between the lands. It's a boundary to keep things in. It's a boundary to keep things out. So it's a very liminal space. So when you ride the hedge, you cross into the other world. So it's a form of, it's not really meditation. It goes further than meditation. It's more trance, shamanic journey type work. You literally ride the hedge to step into the other worlds. You deal with plant spirits, animal spirits, deities and all sorts of weird and wonderful things that you find in the other worlds.
Like a medicine.
That's hedge riding.
Sense, right? Like a medicine, like a shamanic power or
Yes.
healing energy
Absolutely.
from these divas. And that sounds really cool.
Lisa and I
absolutely.
were so lucky. Most Americans, and I do have American citizenship, even though I'm still definitely English. But most Americans have no idea what a hedge is. We don't have them over here. They're
Okay.
just throwing barbed wire or chain link fence or something like that. We don't really have hedgerows, and we learned from our neighbour how to actually pletch a hedge.
In Wales,
Yeah,
not
and
here.
I just love the idea that it's whole self-sustaining ecosystem, so to speak, but it's also magical. So tell us more. What got you into hedge witchery, and what is hedge witchery for those that probably don't even know?
I think in my journey, I love learning. 30 odd years on, I still learn. I still take courses. I still read books. I'm still learning. And fairly early on in my pathway, I realised, although I love the ceremonial type magic, I like doing things my own way. I don't like being told what to do. So I sort of wandered off, and I found a book on hedge witchcraft by Ray Beth. And it's looser. It is about it's about working with whatever you have to hand. I am an animist, so everything has energy for me, whether it is a pebble or a shell or a branch from a hedgerow. It's all got magic to me. It's all got energy. So for me, it was about working with all of those things around me, rather than spending lots of money or buying lots of ceremonial things. I like to work magic with things from my garden or the things I find on the beach. That's hedge witch, really. It's about, I think the hedge is the focus. Hedge riding is very key to it. A hedge witch usually has one foot in the other world most of the time. But the hedge is very magical, and English hedges do tend to have elder, which I think is quite important, because the elder tree has an elder mother or an elder grandmother, and she is a formidable entity. You have to ask her permission, basically, whenever you even approach an elder tree. So she's important. You mentioned blackthorn. We have blackthorn quite a lot. That's a very magical tree to find in the hedge. Hawthorn you find quite a lot. But it is an ecosystem. That it isn't just those trees and shrubs. It is the animals, the birds, the whole living hedge. It is kind of a world of its own, really. They are very, very magical places. But all of those things, the twigs, the leaves, the berries, you work magic with. And that's what a hedge witch does, really.
So from my point of view, listening to that, I'm kind of seeing how being first coming up through the Wiccan path, you could then have like a little bit of a language, so to speak, about elements, and maybe understand the different parts of the plant as representing those different elements, like the roots being the earth or the sap being the water, the berries or blossoms being more like air or spirit. Is that something that you work with?
Absolutely. The Wiccan training did give me such a good structure to work from. I do work with the elements a lot. I love herbal magic. I love food magic. All of the ingredients in my kitchen have magical properties. All of those tie in with the elements as well. All of the plants and flowers tie in with different elements. Two of my favorite areas to work with, plant and food magic. It all comes together.
Yeah, I think so many people have forgotten that food was medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now we go to get, let me go get an aspirin rather than think of the willow. So many people have forgotten that food is medicine.
It is true. I mean, when you eat something, you also take in all of the energies that has consumed. So, where you grow your food, or how your food's been grown, or what animal has given its life for your sustenance. You know, what's that been fed on? And I think I know we're kindred spirits in so much as that we feel it's our responsibility to leave the earth better than we found it for those that would come after us. And, you know, there's so much of a mindset, I think, in Western society that just sees like a forest or a wood as like, well, how many board feet of lumber can I get out of that? Rather than, you know, its validity as a excuse me, as a living colony, you know, sentient beings that are actually cognizant of your presence within them. I think, you know, anything that we can do in the craft, you know, and you especially with your work, to make people more cognizant of the nature of nature, I think has to be a good thing.
Yeah, our community.
I think connection. It's
sorry.
No, please.
It's all down to connection, isn't it? It's about connection to nature, and it's about connecting to the spirit of the land that you're standing on, the land that your house is on, wherever you are. Connect with the energy and the spirit of that land. I think that is really important.
Our community's a little strange because we're kind of an amalgam. We call ourselves Wiccan because we do have a very structured ritual, and we follow the moon cycles. But we have a component of high magic, and we definitely have a component of druidry. So we honor the Celtic lunar zodiac in very much similar fashion to Robert Graves when he talks about the Ogham and the order of the Ogham.
Right.
So to us, like hawthorn is very much the spring flower. You know, when the hawthorn blooms, you know the frost is gone. And then blackthorn is more the Kalangea for, you know, the winter's coming, the frost is coming. So those are kind of like, to us, the pillars on the tree of life, because we have that weird high magic component. So our group is a funny little, I want to say eclectic, but it's seriously structured eclecticism.
There is some structure to our eclecticism, that is for sure. So, Rachel, I want to ask...
Don't you love that... Sorry.
No,
I was just saying, don't
go
you
on.
love that paganism, witchcraft, we can make our journeys our own. It is Absolutely. A pick and mix. You can take all of the bits, because I still work with the Wiccan structure in a lot of things as well, but I take all these different bits from the different pathways and make my own journey. And that to me is one of the magical things about it.
Yeah. You have to work on that relationship. It doesn't matter what pot you pick from, you then have to work on that relationship, right?
Exactly. It's all about relationship, isn't it? And particularly, I guess the flavour coming through here is our relationship with our environment as well, you know. You were waxing lyrical about Elder a lot. I mean, I have a huge respect for Elder. We used to have one just at the sort of the entrance to our little bridge that went across to our cottage in Wales that we had, and it was an amazing tree for me because in the winter there's nothing quite looks as dead, you know. It's like it looks gnarly and it's never coming back to life, and yet in the spring you've got this explosion of like life in it. I guess you have a strong relationship with Elder. Tell us more. What is that? Would you say Elder is perhaps your favourite tree?
From a hedge witch point of view, it is quite prominent because the elder mother, the elder grandmother, the elder spirit is so strong, and she is such a formidable energy. She kind of jumps out from the hedgerow to me as the one in charge of the hedgerow. So she is my point of contact whenever I go hedge riding. I always connect with the elder mother first and ask her permission. There's a huge amount of folklore about her specifically. There are folklore stories about people not asking permission to cut a branch from an elder tree and paying the price in not a very pleasant way. So she is someone that you really need to be mindful of being polite and mind your manners too.
So yes, I think she has both that energy of, like, she has both that energy of a deep wisdom and also that mama bear protection kind of energy, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, we actually just planted a few elders, six elders at our house. We're trying to make a bit of a hedgerow there. Can't do too much. We haven't got too much land as yet, but we'll.
The birds got all the berries this year.
Well, yeah. It'll be a year or two before we can get it. You can make some gorgeous elderberry wine. I just love that. It's so nice. Anyway, and it's so healthful. It's so healthful, so good for you. So look, have we got some people who want to ask some questions? And while you're doing that, if you guys are watching us, you've got a unique opportunity today. Rachel's book comes out in December 1st, I think is the official release date. Is it? Yeah. And we hope to have it sometime close to or not too long after that. And if you pre-order one with us today, do you have the price of the book? Do you know how much
it's $16.99?
$16.99.
And call Danny.
Okay, and
I've told them that.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and call Danny, and if you order one today, Rachel will gladly do your book plate. Or am I just like volunteering your services?
Yeah, we can do that.
So we have a question of how would one begin to start hedge riding? So we've already said a little bit about trying to connect or have a relationship, but what would you give as advice to beginners?
Complete beginner who wants to start the art of hedge riding.
First of all, buy the book.
Yes.
It does take you quite deep, so I wouldn't recommend it for those just starting on the witchcraft paganism path. You do need to have some experience with journeying. There are various ways to do it. If you are experienced, you should be able to do it with your normal trance route. Quite often I suggest people do just visualize a hedge or a tree. You're entering the other worlds, so your choice, the underworld, the middle world, or the upper world, wherever you're drawn to. But be mindful that you know how to get back, so you do need some experience with that. I would first seek a spirit guide, an animal spirit guide, to journey with you, because they are full of wisdom. They will stop you from getting into trouble, generally. and that you can do through meditation before you start. But you can also do it through ritual. I tend to do it by treading the mill. So I have a stang. I have the forked staff, and that's my center point. And I literally walk around it with the staff in the center. The stang is a very masculine, very strong energy, and it's made of wood, so you've got the tree connection as well. And I literally walk round and round it until I enter the trance state and into the hedge. So it is about journeying. It is about journeying to the other world. But you need a guide, and you need your doorway. You need your way into it. I tend to say, I'd said before, I work with the elders, so I tend to work with the image of a hedge, and I will greet the elder mother. But you can do it with the image of a tree. You can do it with the image of a stone circle. It's whatever worked for you, but you need a sort of entry point, somewhere that you can step through or over into that world. But you've got to get yourself in that trance state, which for me is walking round and round in circles.
Let's jump back so we can see all of us. Not that anybody wants to look at me, but you're going to have to. Never mind.
Someone here is saying that they're very excited, and Danny's started a list, so
good.
That's good. And someone else is saying, yes, no inanimate objects. So do you also work with crystals with your trees and plants?
Anything and everything. Everything in my house. Hairbrushes, toothbrushes, jam jars, anything. I work with whatever I have, literally whatever I have to hand. I've worked spells with jam jars, and I have worked spells with my mobile phone. Anything. to me, it's all got magical potential. It's all got an energy field. It's just about thinking what you connect with it, how you connect with it. When you pick up an item, what energy do you feel for it? Same as you would with the crystal. You'll pick up a crystal and connect with it, find out what magic it can help you with. I do that with every single object, no matter what it is. Dog poo bags are a favorite of mine.
Oh, I don't want to know what kind of spells you're doing with those.
Oh my.
Getting rid of things. Getting rid of things. Think about your dog poo bag, what goes in it, where it goes. If you want to get rid of something, a bad habit, a bad cycle, a bad person, put that on a slip of paper, put it in the dog poop bag, and
Out it goes.
Your magic's working. Yeah.
Reprocessed. That's the way it goes.
Well, I think that's really a cool way to look at it, because yes, absolutely, as witches, there's no such thing as an inanimate object. Everything came from this fabric, right? And by that I mean the concept of fabric, not just articles of clothing, but it's woven from the energy of however many people, plants, animals, like it didn't just appear, it came through some journey or pathway to get where it is. So why not use it? Why not use your hairbrush to make your hair grow longer? Or, I get what you're saying. Put control or manifest with the energy that's there, right? Okay.
It is also one of the things that we find, Rachel, when you use an object, particularly for something, it gets to know what it does. If it's done repeatedly, that sort of energetic imprint gets into it, and so you can utilize these tools, these regular everyday objects that we have around us for their intent. And intent is everything. I mean, there's like so many people come to us like starting out on the path, say, what do I need to buy? Do I need one of these? You need nothing. Nothing. Only what you've got in here. And that's the powerful bit. But I love the fact that you're like trying to attune people to the idea. It doesn't matter what you've got, you can use it. It's a beautiful thing. What else have we got in the way of questions?
With the technology as well, I think witchcraft has to move with the times. I mean, I work with folk magic a lot, so I go backwards and I go forwards. But mobile phones, computer screens, they're all energy. You've got electricity fizzing through it all. That's that's energy. So it's about working with technology as well. Your screensaver, your desktop can all have images on for manifesting things. It's about working with what you've got, really.
But it's absolutely true. It's not beyond me to Reiki something to try to make it work better.
Yeah.
Energy is energy. Energy is energy at the end of the day, and it all comes down to energy, isn't it?
So someone is saying now, they want to be clear that you're talking about like a few different ways to do this. They're saying that you could do this through ritual and meditation, or you could actually be out walking and be in the presence of the hedge and go into a journey that way, right? Yeah, Savannah, I think that's what she's saying. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a hedge. It's a liminal space. If you live by the ocean, that space where the ocean hits the sand or the stones, that's a liminal space. Liminal time, sunrise, dusk, they're liminal times as well. It's about that in-between space, but you can just sitting in your own living room, you can do it as well. Intent comes in here as well again, doesn't it? But it's about putting yourself in that. It's a step further than meditation. It is deeper, but please do make sure you do it safely. If you are outside, make sure you are in a safe space, obviously.
So you don't end up like Nanny Ogg. You have to have a sign that says not
I
dead.
ain't dead. I love it. It's the idea, I think, of having that guide, that totem. I mean, most of us do have that relationship with but for say somebody who's never worked with a power animal or a spirit totem, an animal totem before, how would you suggest making a relationship there? What's a good way to start for somebody who's like not got a clue?
Read the book.
Meditation is a good way. Yeah, yes, there is a guide in the book. There's also a meditation recorded on my YouTube channel to find your spirit animal guide if anyone wants to have a go at it. What I did find interesting, I have the wild boar, and he's been with me for many, many years. He's my main guide. When I first ventured over the hedge, he refused to come with me. He wasn't having any of it. I was actually met with a black panther on the other side, and he travels with me for all of my otherworldly journeys. So even if you have got an animal that you work with a lot, they might not want to take that step over into the other world with you. So do a meditation first to check with your usual animal, if you've got one, and whether they're prepared to go into the other world with you, or do a meditation specifically to ask for an otherworld guide to come with you. Might not be an animal, it might be a human or other form. Don't limit yourself. But it is good to have a guide that's familiar with that territory.
All right, so I have a question here from Doris Jean.
Oh yeah.
She says, Rachel, what is your favorite magical working that you've done with cooking?
Ooh. Hey, food. I like food.
I love food. I love to bake. I mean, I like cooking, but I love baking. Baking is my escape. It is my therapy. My kitchen is my sanctuary along with my garden. But if I'm having a bad day, I will escape to the kitchen and I will bake, because it just takes me out of everything. And of course you get good stuff to eat at the end of it. But you can add so much to it. The ingredients all have energy. If you're used to working with magical herbs or plants, all of the ingredients in your kitchen cupboard are exactly the same. The flour, the rice, the sugar, the baking soda, it's all got magical properties to it. And all of that can come together in your cooking, in your baking, whatever you're making. You can add spices for different intents. You can decorate. I've had decorated cakes with pentagrams on the top. You can score into pastry, into breads. You can draw symbols or sigils into them to bring magical intent in. When we've had rituals, we did a cake ritual. We had 4 different types of cake, one for each element, one for each point of 4 points of the compass, different flavors. And then we had different cookies. When we went round and called in each element, we had a different flavor of cookie that corresponded to that element. And then we had different flavors of herbal tea that corresponded with those elements as well. So it's connection again. It's connecting with those ingredients. It's connecting with the magic of all those ingredients. It's all magic.
That's amazing. That's
and then
lovely.
you get to eat it.
I know.
You do.
Now I want to have a witch's tea like
Oh,
this.
yes. You're making me hungry. Just talking about it.
All right, let's see.
I love the way it's like, as you say, there's this kind of process. It's almost like alchemy, if you will. The art of cooking, where you take completely separate things like water and flour, and from it you can get this incredible bread, which is this amazing transformation. But oh, hello.
Yeah.
How you feeling, dog? Bit rough. It must be dinner time for the pooch, I'm thinking. Somebody mentioned food. I'm sorry,
I'm a
I didn't
very
mean
loud
to.
dog.
I love that. I love that.
Doris Jean says, reminds me of the herbalism class with the coconut cake. Yeah,
Oh, the coconut cake.
for the moon class, I made them a round
Yum.
cake with coconut. Yeah. So Juniper's Tarot, we
Yes.
don't know her real name, but Juniper's Tarot says, Yes, just think about it. You could charge up your chapstick or your lip gloss to help you control your loose lips or to give you confidence.
Absolutely.
It's all in the symbolism.
Absolutely. I've done a talk on magic makeup as well on my YouTube if people want to have a look. You can. Your lips are your communication. So, yeah, charge your chapstick for good communication. Charge your mascara with clear sight if you want to see the truth of something. Yeah, it's all association.
I love it. I love it. I think I would need magical gaffer tape to fix my mouth, though. That's probably best.
I mean,
now I've done a binding with gaffer tape.
I love it. I love it.
But, we think about it and we say words or we read words and then we don't understand them, right? Like we say that becoming a witch isn't just, that certification to 3rd degree or what have you. It becomes a way of life. Absolutely. Right? It's not, you're not just a witch when you're in ritual, but it's your way of life. And I think people are starting to really understand that. Thank you very much. By what you're telling us today, that everything has a magic. And we're not just magical beings when we're in circle. We're magical beings all the time.
It's a question I get asked a lot, actually. How do you have time to be a witch? And my answer is always, I'm a witch, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm doing the housework or the shopping or in ritual or typing an invoice. Right. You bring magic into your daily life. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't separate the two. That's what it is. I mean, like so many people say, what about, because we follow a Welsh Celtic pantheon as part of our kind of particular brand of spirituality. And one of the hardest things we have to try and convince people is there was no such thing as a separate mundane and spiritual life. The two were innately woven together in every single aspect. We didn't just choose to go to church or whatever, on this particular day. It's the whole life itself is representative and magical, and we forget that. And that's, I think, one of the things that you're bringing forwards in this book is all about re-establishing connection, which we've lost.
Yeah. That's the base of it all for me is connection.
Perfect. I don't think if there was one word that says it all, that would be it. Connection.
Connection.
Yeah, connection.
Who else we got? We got loads of people chiming in. I see all sorts of fun stuff. Gosh, it's hard to keep up with that. You keep up with that, and I'll just keep bothering.
Oh yeah, Juniper's Tarot says she can't use her real name because she works in the crime community.
Oh, nice. Oh, is she a professional criminal? Excellent.
No, I think she's trying to
perhaps the other
a step ahead of the professional criminals. Savannah says she's, I've always kind of cooked this way. I won't cook if I'm in a bad mood because she knows that she's going to spread that to her family. So she's kind of likes turning on music and listening to music or puts Reiki in her food. And Doris Jean says that there's a famous decluttering expert, Marie Kondo. She has you hold each object that you own and ask you if it sparks your joy. And if it dies, if your joy dies holding the object, she says to get rid of it. So, oh gosh, well, I would still have a horribly cluttered house.
Well, so would I.
Hi, Helena.
I don't know. I just think that we need to simplify our lives a little bit. I mean, this is the unfortunate thing is with and here's the irony, because we're doing exactly this right now on social media with YouTube, aren't we? But it seems that, we've gotten so much we live in this perpetual information download, and most of it, well, not all of it, is accurate, that's for sure. And yet we just seem to just doom scroll, and we've gotten ourselves. When was the last time you took your damn shoes and socks off and jumped in a puddle? I mean, that is true magic. I think, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
we need more of that.
You've been on this path a fair time now, and I don't mean to be. Please don't take that as an insult. Take that as a compliment.
The same generation of witches.
But I mean, for somebody just setting out, what would it? If you could, as we all take that pledge to do, put our hand behind us and try and, help those behind us. What sage advice would you offer to somebody?
I think on one hand it's more difficult because of all the misinformation that's out there, but on the other hand it is much easier. When I started, there was no internet. As far as I was concerned, I was the only witch in my entire county. And
goodness.
finding information to learn from was really, really hard work. There were a couple of books that I found. They were Wiccan at the time because that's all there was then. There weren't all these diverse pathway information things, online courses, because the internet wasn't there. So it was actually quite difficult to learn when I started. Now there are books galore and courses and online things, as well as all the in-person things. But you can also find out about all the in-person things as well via the internet, which I didn't have access to at the time. I think research is good. Take your time and have a look around. Read everything you can. And it's not just because I'm an author. The library is a good source as well. You don't have to buy books. You can ask for them at the library. So read all you can. But remember, there is a lot of misinformation. Remember that there is not just one pathway. The paganism umbrella is enormous. So you don't have to tie yourself into one thing. But I think at the base of it, at the base of all these pagan pathways, is nature. So it is about connecting with the energy of the land you live on and the land around you. That connection is really important. That's a good place to start. I'd get recommendations from people as well. Or find your local store, obviously.
Yes, indeed. And why not? I think... For me, one of the things, I guess sometimes it's hard to, you can't put like an old head on young shoulders. Although, I've met some people who are definitely old souls and like, whoa, hey, but I think one of the things that you have to learn is the discernment of, is this like for real? Is this for real? And I think one of the things is that, is it ultimately coming from a place of love? And I think that becomes your acid test, because if it's not, if it's like to exert power over another, to manipulate things, to extort money, or I've got to pay a shed load of money for this or whatever, ask yourself, is this truly coming at it from a place of love? And I think it's me as an old and decrepit individual now, that would be the one bit of advice I would give to somebody. It's like, use that discernment, Would you add anything to that, Rachel?
I think remember that if it's got a big price tag, doesn't necessarily make it better. There are, as in any pathway, as in any business, as in any journey, there are people that are just there to make money. So be mindful of that.
All right, we have some stuff here.
Go on in.
Susan says she can tell if somebody's been cooking in a bad mood because it affects the taste.
It probably does. I bet it does.
And others are saying, like, yes, don't keep things that bring back negative memories. Don't clutter your space with sorrow kind of ideas. And Savannah's saying, how many chapters are in the new book? Or do you have the titles of any of the chapters? People are, like, really wanting this book.
Well, yeah, I wish we had a copy to go through. We could, bombard you with questions.
And somebody else says that they started studying astrology first. And I said, yeah, that's a good base language. That you can understand a lot from that. Anyway, so back to the chapters.
Chapters. Tell us about. Do you have a copy to hand? Do you have a pre-publication copy? No,
I don't. But I'm just opening the PDF file.
Technology. I love technology.
The wonders of technology. Yes, if you bear with me a second.
No, I'm putting you on the spot here.
Well, they're just all excited
now.
I think,
Yeah.
we did talk about this previously, but we for the future, we can't make any plans right now. But for the future, we would love to get maybe Rachel do an online workshop for us or something like that. We could do that, I think. We could, because we've got this huge big screen TV in our little annex, so we can grab a whole bunch of people together and you can do like a virtual workshop for us. I think people would be very excited about that. Mm-hmm. I would be.
Love it. So we've got, what have I covered? I have covered a little bit of basics about what the craft is and the name, the etymology of Hedge Witch, where that comes from as well, and what a Hedge Witch does. I deal with boundaries and liminal spaces because that's where you're going to do your hedge riding. A bit about your mind and your state of conscious, where you need to be when you're doing your journeying. Then I cover the 3 worlds because they're the places you're going to visit when you step into the other world. Or actually, I do include a bit on the 9 worlds. If anybody walks a heathen pathway, they like to have more. They've got 9 worlds, just to be really confusing. I do talk about connection, obviously, and spirit of place, because I think that's very important. And then I take you through it, how to get there, the various methods that deals with rattles, drumming, good old flying ointment, if you're familiar with that, journey beads, chanting. And then I cover treading the mill, which is the going round in circles bit. That's very, very simplified. I also deal a bit with breath work because you are going into trance, so your breathing will change. I put a few exercises in to help you with your visualization, and there's exercises for psychic shielding as well, because that's something you need to know, and grounding, because when you come out of anything, any energy working, you're going to be a bit buzzy. I've included some old folk chants and some old protection charms from folk magic. Good old cleansing with smoke, because clearing your space of negative energy is always a good idea. I cover the staff, the stang, and the besom as well, because they're nice focal points. Your stang or your staff, or even your besom, your witch's broom, they're really nice central focal points to use as well. And making a journey bag. I have a little journey bag that I have. It's literally a piece of fabric with items in it that I associate with helping me journey to the other world. So I take you through making your own one of those as well. There is a chapter on the Elder Mother, because she had to be in there, because she would have argued if I didn't put her in there. Not going to argue with her. I've done a bit about ritual. I've included the sort of Wiccan structure that most people are familiar with because it works. But I've also included hallowing the compass, which is more of a traditional witchcraft way of bringing in the 4 elements for your ritual. I'm whizzing through all these chapters.
It's awesome.
It sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Your guardian, your animal guardian. There's a bit about spell crafting. There's bits about crystals and herbs and things that can help you connect with the hedge riding as well. So sort of correspondences section.
My ears pricked up when you said some traditional chants. Would it be too much to ask? Could you give us a taster of one of them?
Right,
I would love that.
Scrolling back.
I do. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. I was going to ask you.
Wait. If we're going to do this, we need to just all focus for a second, because this is going to shift the energy in our little chat room here.
Hopefully in a positive way.
So everybody should take a deep breath and focus and listen to the words carefully.
All right. Well, we can do that. We could listen, if you don't mind.
I'm still scrolling. Right, here we go. Right. Ooh. Okay, there's quite a good one here for when you collect your herbs. Whenever you pick any herb for magical purpose, ask permission first. We're all familiar with that, I'm sure. But there is this is an old herb gathering charm. And you should say this as you are gathering it, as you are collecting your magic herbs for purpose. So it begins. Hail be thou, holy herb, growing on the ground, all in the Mount Calvary, though neither the herb nor the witch never came there. First wert thou found. Thou art good for many a sore, and healest many a wound. In the name of sweet Jesus, I take thee from the ground. And the spelling is unreal.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Obviously it has the name Sweet Jesus in it. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can supplement that. You can put Mother Earth in, or the goddess, or whatever works for you. But it's the spelling that makes me laugh. I feel like something from Shakespeare when I'm reading it.
Oh, it's like a medieval tongue, yeah?
Yeah, Middle English. It's like
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
F's
Yes.
as S's and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of like
F's as
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gone right back
Yeah.
to school to do Chaucer now. That's it. I love it.
Thank you so much for sharing
thank
that.
you. Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Oh,
I'm
no.
so looking forward to getting my paws on your book. Hopefully soon. Hopefully they will arrive. Gosh, who we got now?
Well, I'm just reading. The people are just praising now.
Oh,
We're
people
giving
are
praises
just
and praises
extolling
and
your
praises.
virtues.
And Logan is saying he wants to know the ingredients for the flying ointment, and I told him he'll have to read the book.
Calm yourself.
Other people saying that's beautiful, love it, love it. Somebody's going to go back and write that down because they thought it was great.
No,
great.
buy the book.
Buy the book.
book.
And a lot of people are saying they would certainly attend. Yes, she's going to buy the book for sure, she says. I assume it's a she anyway. We don't know what Juniper's tea could be a guy for all we know.
Junipers are nice. I like junipers. You make gin with juniper.
A lot of people are saying they would love to attend the virtual
can.
workshop. So there you go.
Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, Rachel, thank you so much for doing this. I know you've got 1,000,001 things to do, and you could be doing lots of things more beneficial, I'm sure, than wasting time with us. But
Not at all.
we do
Not at
thank
all.
you so much. So, guys, if you've got any questions you want to fire out,
This is
now's
your
probably
last
going to be your
chance.
last chance because we're running out of time and we've got to do our card for the week and all that sort of stuff. But now's your last chance if you want to ask our lovely Rachel Patterson.
Yes, we want more. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We love it. How beautiful. Yes, we will buy the book.
All right, then.
The,
Well, okay.
That charm, the old charm, actually came from a discovery of witchcraft by Reginald Scott, dated 1584. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah. People are like a little taken aback, I know, when we've gone into old stuff, just exactly how much sort of Christianity has got interspersed with this.
And inadvertently preserved it.
And inadvertently preserved it. I mean, just the tradition that we just did, the Mary Lloyd would have died out completely had some pious parson not written down exactly what to avoid. So it survives, and it's interesting that even in like the Pennyarth manuscripts, which form the White Book of Hagest and the Red Book of the White Book of Hagest and Red Book of Ruddock. I get it the right way around, one of the two, and the Black Book of Carmarthen. I'm getting my colours all mixed up today. But the monks, when they transcribed them, often wrote over like sort of Christian things and put in the name of God here and what have you. And for that they weren't destroyed like they would have been. They were preserved. So I don't know whether it was deliberate or whatever, but it's so nice that we have this wealth of material that we can go back to. The craft goes back a lot further than people think. It really does. I mean, granted, Wicca is a relatively modern invention with Gerald Gardner and so on and so forth. But the craft has got its pinnings in, well, prehistory, definitely. I would suggest, and it's so wonderful that there's folks like yourself, Rachel, that are getting this ancestral wisdom
Trying to
and
preserve
it for the next generation by bringing it forward.
Yeah.
So it's a
I
wonderful.
love folk magic, and all the folk history is fascinating.
Love it too. Love it too.
Everybody's now saying thank you so much, looking forward to a workshop, all that kind of thing. So that's good.
So Rachel, we are amazingly grateful for you coming on our show today. Thank you so very much.
My
We're just
pleasure.
going to do our card for the day, and can't wait to get your book in stock. And again, if you guys haven't yet ordered it, give the store a call, 845-255-5756. Do it now, and snag your copy, and Rachel will do your book plate. Let Danny know. Well, obviously you're going to have to let Danny know who you are, otherwise we won't get your ball, will we? Oh well, never mind. No brain here today. More coffee, I think.
Right. So I usually just do a little astrology blurb.
Oh, what's the astrology?
And then, the astrology blurb is Pluto is going to move into Aquarius tomorrow, and it's going to be there until 2044. So that is truly pushing that click, right? So what I have said before is that 1960 to 2020 was like 11:59 to midnight, coming into the age of Aquarius, and now 2020 to 2080 is 12 to 1201. So it's that span of time that's changing the aeon, not just 1 year or 1 day. But tomorrow is very significant in the fact that Pluto is an outer planet that is indelible upon a generation, and it is moving into Aquarius till 2044. So that is like our official tick forward from 12 to 1201. I again said be very mindful about things that Aquarius rules, like computer, AI, internet, those kind of things. We also have Mercury retrograde. We're just about a week out from Mercury retrograde, and it's going to cause some other interesting aspects that may very well disrupt travel. And
good over Thanksgiving.
Yes, travel and communication. So we have a big focus kind of on communication, AI, travel, those kind of things. I think it's going to be really interesting to navigate the next couple of weeks. But sometimes we have to push through challenges in order to reap rewards. So we still have Uranus activating Al Ghul. Don't lose your head.
Try not
right?
to.
But Uranus will eventually move on into Gemini. But right now it is in those last couple of degrees of Taurus, sitting on the fixed star Al Ghul. So we still have that don't lose your head activation. And we understand don't lose your head just doesn't mean don't lose your mind, don't be decapitated. It also means don't lose the crown or the governor or the governing of. So we want to be mindful of respecting people in leadership, or respecting our own thoughts about self-sovereignty. I'm just thinking.
All fun stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's all fun stuff. Challenging.
Challenges, yes, but it's the motto of the RAF, isn't it? Per arda ad astra, through adversity to the stars. Right. So without challenge, we don't grow. So sometimes challenge can be good. Rachel, fantastic. Listen, we'll pull the card for the day, and why don't we get Rachel to do a take on it as well?
Well, I don't know. You won't put it on the spot. But she certainly could. All right, there it is. This is our card for the week.
Oh, hey, it was. I don't know if you can see that. I'll bring it up. We've got the Four of Pentacles there, Rachel. This is going to be the card for the week. So, if you want to go first, please do.
He looks like he's wearing flip-flops.
Rather expensive ones. Yeah, no, this is like, there's such a similarity to the Major Arcana Emperor card in this as well, but this is like, it's really about foundation, and I think, it's not a bad card. Your mind's about money, you've got money covering your heart, you're grounded onto money, so it's like maybe good plans. And I think I'm no harbinger of doom. I don't want to be, but technology may prove to be problematical this next coming couple of weeks, especially as we get into the Mercury retrograde and with the other unfortunate asterisms that we have at this time. So I'm saying, just make sure you've got a little bit of actual cash on hand. So if you do need to go and fill your car and the card reader doesn't work, you're not stuck. Just I'm not saying hoard hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but have a bit of cash on hand. What say you, boss?
So definitely agree with that. I was telling everybody last week that you might want to have some cash on hand because things might, again, the things that are internet or electric things, all the things that you can look up that Aquarius, Uranus, Pluto, all those things. And Pluto also brings the hidden to light. So I think this is kind of two messages. I think it's a personal message saying that, yes, you should, always have a firm foundation, put some money aside, that you should always be careful if you're hoarding or sharing, and that you should also have some ideas of funding to fund your ideas. And I also think that this week there is going to be a focus on the major players who hoard money, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and that French guy, I can't remember his name. But I think there is going to be a focus on the voice of the money hoarders. And I think that we have to be mindful of where we're backing, what are we backing, whose ideas and things like that. But yeah, I think that proceed with caution is a good message for this week, and always try to have faith and move forward, but be prepared will help you in the long run. That's me.
Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected.
Run away now.
Yeah, that's Uranus's motto.
Bravely run away.
Unexpected.
Gosh.
All right. Well, that hour went by really quickly, people.
It did. And Rachel, again, thank you, thrice thank you for coming on our show. And it's been a joy. And I'm so looking forward to your book. So finally, go on, plug the hell out of it. Just tell everybody what it's called and when it comes out.
So it is Hedge Witch and the Art of Hedge Riding, published by Phoenix Flames. It's out in the UK 1st of December, so it'll be a week or so later to America. Happy to sign some book plates for anyone that orders them from you. Hedge riding is a journey. it is an adventure. The book includes how-tos, hints and tips, and also some herbal, spell working, magical stuff in there as well.
Awesome. So somebody Gilda just posted like a whole bunch of brooms.
Oh, well.
What a great episode.
Well,
thank you, Lisa, Anton, and Rachel. Wonderful way to start the week.
We love that.
Kiss. Thanks again. Enjoying your day. Enjoy your day, everyone. Always look forward to these cards. Really helped me to expand my thinking. Please click like before you go.
If you haven't mashed that like button, and if you're not subscribed to our channel, you might want to, because we do this every Monday, Magical Monday.
And Rachel, what's the name of your YouTube station?
Yes, plug your YouTube station.
It's my name, Rachel Patterson.
Gosh, that's a
Easy
hard one.
So
if you can't spell it, it's on the screen, people.
You could go binge watch. You could go binge watch.
Yes,
some of
there's
her
lots
things.
of talks. Lots of
go and
talks on
binge
there.
watch. All right.
That sounds awesome. Listen, thank you so very, very much. We have to do it from here. So
Okay.
When you're ready.
Love
All
and
right?
light to everyone.
Yep.
And have a magical week.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you to all.
Blessings upon you all. Don't freak out by the Pluto shift.
No. Keep your head.
Keep your head on. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
So,
Rachel.
Thank you.
Blessed
thank you.
be
Have
everyone.
a wonderful week. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time. All right, we're off air.